Oh, okay. Hey, welcome to another episode of On the Rush from Off the Cuff. Today we have a little bit of an update for you from the brand Artem. Now, I reviewed their really awesome sailcloth straps. It really industry leading not too long ago, and they're founded in Adelaide, Australia. And they are really the self-proclaimed producers of the world's finest sailcloth strap. And they have quite a few people that are within that category, kind of believing them. And I'm one of those guys. My only kind of shortcoming about this piece was that it just wasn't long enough for my 7¼ inch wrist. It just felt too short. So now they've released the extra long size. And I also noticed that there's even extra small sizes now. So I love that. I love when a brand just doubles down and says, look, I'm not trying to have maybe every strap for everyone. But this one strap, I'm gonna make this strap that can fit anybody. And I dig that, right? So they're not, okay, well, we're sailcloth straps, but we're also NATOs and we're also leathers. They're just like, hey man, we want to own this space. We want to have the finest thing within that space. And we want to now make it more accessible to other wrist sizes, which I can absolutely appreciate as somebody that is within one of those other wrist sizes. So with that said, this will be a pretty quick one, but just kind of a rehash of some of the previous information, but also refreshing, of course, for some of the new. And in terms of the watch that we do have featured, it's of course my Seiko Prospex Baby Alpinist. Some of you don't like that nickname. Sorry, I didn't make it up. I didn't choose it, it chose me. But we'll go ahead, zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. All right, guys. Wow, check it out. So, of course, I chose this particular rendition because it had the gray stitch. So it has, of course, the standard black sailcloth, but it does have the gray stitching as contrast, which I like that it isn't super high contrast. But it does work with this dial, which also has a lot of tones of gray. And then also, even just generally, because of the material here, it does capture light in different angles and whatnot and offer you a little bit of light and dark play, which I think goes really well on this watch. Of course, it was actually inspired by the Blancpain 50 Fathoms sailcloth strap. And, you know, they just wanted something that was very premium, very flexible. And you get that from Artem, but now it's a little bit longer. So off wrist, what I can show you is this, which is the one with the black on black. Probably going to be more versatile, you know, in most cases. But look at that buckle. I mean, that hasn't changed. Beautiful high. Let me give it a quick little wipe there. Beautiful, high polished, nice transition there between brushed and polished, very fine. Everything milled, including this little finger here, milled out versus folded, which I can appreciate beautifully. Give it another little wipe for the underside so you guys can get an idea of the luster on here. So although the Alpinist is quite an affordable watch line, this buckle is going to be right at home with much more expensive options. And of course, originally for divers, right, this sailcloth strap traditionally, it will absolutely fit those kind of high-end desk divers, those dress divers that are out there. But for me, I loved the pairing with this Alpinist. I think the color plays great. I think the textures do tie in with that textured dial. But yeah, it's just a little bit longer now, which I can appreciate. So now it's basically the standard length was going to be 75 millimeters and, 75 millimeters and 115. Now it's 85 millimeters on this end and 124 for the extra long. There's also an extra small, which is going to be like a 66 millimeter with a 105 millimeter combination. And these are great. And I love that you can get them with quick release spring bars. And it's a choice. So you can get them for 85 bucks, little expensive, but when you're trying to get best in class, it costs 85 bucks. with regular spring bars, or you can get it with $98 with the quick release spring bars. Some key features: 0 break-in period. These things are pretty much ready to wear as soon as you get them. They are super comfortable. They have a great taper to them, not just from width wise, but the thickness wise. You can see here it's going to be more bolstered and padded, then it gets thinner, which is the way that you want it, so that when it is on your wrist, it will help stabilize that watch, and then be flexible down here where it's going to have to wrap around the wrist. So you do get those features. You can get white stitching, gray stitching, black stitching, blue stitching, or red. Also 20, 21 millimeter, 22, and 23 millimeter lug widths there, which is great. And then now you have different lengths, which was kind of the only missing thing. Also, these straps do come with the spring bars, of course, and a custom really nice tang buckle here, fully milled and finished really to a luxury standard. So very, very beautiful. But I think even for, and that's where I like straps like this, in that you can get something completely premium for not necessarily a premium product, right? This is more of an everyday man's watch, or you know, or ladies' watch if they want to wear it, but just it's more of an everyday piece than anything. It's not really a dressy piece, but I think it goes really well with this particular strap and this aesthetic, and it's also rugged, right? And it fits that because these watches are meant to be out on adventures and whatnot, and getting splashed on, getting water on them. And you can see, I wouldn't say there's 0 break-in period. Like, obviously you can wear them, but for me, I like to kind of get this piece worn in. And what I do typically is I'll take them and I'll just do this. And it's not a break-in, but I just do that, and it just softens them up a little bit, so that when this part is on your wrist, that's really the only part that needs to be kind of worked in. But they, because of that taper, this stuff like flaps and contours super well. Like that absolutely, there's no break-in required for that. But for me, I do like to have it a little bit softer up here within this padded area. But again, it needs to be padded so that it can hold the watch in place, so it's not flopping and lobbing around on your wrist. So very nice. I would probably just put this, wrap it around a watch pillow for a night, and kind of have it stretch itself out just around these areas, the thicker padded areas, just so for my own personal comfort. But man, is that a looker or what? And then that buckle is insane. So this thing's gorgeous, and I love, again, the black tone, but because it's matted, it's catching so many different lights there. And then you also do get the great gray stitching, which ties in to the gray on the dial. I think even if you don't have gray accents on your dial, the gray stitching does tend to work as being kind of a, you know, more of a mid-range level of contrast. You still get a little bit of a pop versus something that's going to be completely kind of black on black integrated, which I think looks gorgeous. But if you do want to get just a little pop, I'm a big fan of the kind of gray stitch there, not just for this watch because it has that gradient gray dial, but I mean for anything, right? And I think it goes really, really well from that standpoint, unless you are going for the uber dressy black on black, which gorgeous. I mean, so many watches I want to put this on, but I decided, hey, let's use one that is very accessible, that a lot of people have, and it's kind of new, that you haven't seen over and over and over and over all over the internet. So, and you know, maybe you've seen it over and over on my channel, but it's because it's a darn good watch. This thing is versatile, and this strap is equally as versatile. It hits that. It's dressy enough to you know, dressed to impress, but it's also capable enough to back up those good looks. So yeah, I'm digging it, guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like the video, please do a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe for more content just like this, guys. I'm digging this. What do you think? Did you guys prefer this on bracelets, on NATO, on leather, on the factory leather? What's your fix for this particular watch? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, guys.